gosh, yes, that was just.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I'm so hungry. I need to eat. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I need
Yeah.
to microwave. Let me.
Yeah, it
hold
was
on.
just
open
really like a
this real
disaster.
quick.
Like, I don't understand.
Okay, sorry. I'm just gonna microwave this real quick.
Wait! Stop! There are a lot of unsafe things happening right now. Metal never goes in the microwave. Let's take that out. If you're in a hurry, you're not thinking about all of the necessary safety precautions you need to take. Even in the home, doing things that you're comfortable with doing because you do them every day, mistakes and accidents can happen. You need to be safe and aware of your surroundings. This is a hot stove item that you pushed her into. This cooking situation here is unsafe. There's things that can potentially be caught on fire by the open flame of this gas stove. There's raw chicken that's not being properly isolated. Contaminants could occur. There could be salmonella and other dangerous bacteria getting into your food.
You ready to get this baseboard cut?
Yeah, man.
Alright, let me grab the saw. I need a chair.
Stop. Don't use the rolling chair. I'll get a ladder for you.
Thanks.
So here's the ladder.
Thank you.
Hey, stop. So before you climb the ladder, you should make sure both of these are straight and you should have a spotter before you climb the ladder.
Thanks, safety man. Whoa, that's a bit wobbly. Let me hold that. Oh, gee, thanks.
Stop. This surface is wobbly and you need to use proper protective equipment, your gloves, and you need to cut it on a stable surface.
Thanks, safety man.
Wait! You need to make sure you have a clear and safe working environment before beginning using tools. There's tripping hazards here, and there's stuff that gets in the way up here on the bench where you're cutting. Here, let's clear some of this stuff off. Okay, that's better.
Thanks, safety girl.
No problem. Carelessness can happen anywhere, whether it's at work or at home. We saw many instances where people were being unsafe trying to use tools to perform a task at home. It's always important to make sure you put your tools in a safe and secure location. as well as to use the proper tools whenever you're trying to perform a task, like reaching the saw.
I guess I should put this in a pan then.
Yeah.
Hey, how's the food going? Is it going
Great.
alright?
Yeah, it smells great, doesn't
Oh,
it?
yeah. Sound good?
I'm gonna, can
I need a thing in the oven.
I'm just gonna put this
Hey, stop! We have a safety hazard in this room. There is a tripping hazard, a rag lying on the floor, and the workplace is too congested. So there needs to be open space and open space in a working condition.
In any area that there's an open flame, you need to make sure you have a fire extinguisher close by. You should have multiple fire extinguishers in your home at any time. When working with a fire extinguisher, it's always important to remember the acronym PASS. This is an example of a home fire extinguisher. You want to make sure you pull the pin, aim, squeeze, and then sweep back and forth across the flames to fully extinguish the fire.
Oh no, the towel's on fire.
Oh gosh!
Okay, dinner's ready, so everybody eat up. Let's go fix our hair.
Alright. I have a great time.
Hey, stop! There's a safety hazard. You can't plug all the outlets into. No. Okay, you can start again. There are too many outlets plugged in over here. That can cause electricity hazard. You should not use all the outlets at once. Ready? And there is an iron in the sink which can cause electric shock. So you should put it somewhere safe. Hey, stop! That's not the correct way to lift the box. Even the safest people can make mistakes if they are not paying attention to the details.
You're right. I should have bent at the knees and not at the back.
That's the
And
right
kept it
part.
close to my body.
I'm so excited. Let's go. We gotta get there soon. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and like back out. Laura can get it in a minute. Oh my god, you did it! We almost hit safety man? Yeah. I didn't see him. Me either.
While the focus of our video was on maintaining safe practices in your everyday life, many of the concepts are applicable to an industrial environment. Whether it be choosing the proper equipment to do your job, always taking the time to do things the right way, or knowing how to operate a fire extinguisher. The concepts of inherently safe design, process safety management, and risk management plans are also important in the home. In order for a design to be inherently safe, the safety features must be built in, not added on. Inherently safe design in industry can include something as simple as paint choice. Replacing an oil-based paint in a combustible solvent with a latex paint in a water carrier is an example of an inherently safe design choice. Examples of inherently safe design in the home include ground fault circuit interrupter outlets. They help protect people from electric shock and are required in any room of your house where it is expected that water would be present, such as the kitchen or bathroom. GFCI outlets monitor the amount of current flowing from hot to neutral. If there is any imbalance, it trips the circuit. Here's a scenario in which a GFCI outlet can save your life. Say you're outside working on your house with a power drill and it starts to rain. You're standing on the ground, and since the drill is wet, there's a path from the hot wire inside the drill, through you, to the ground. If electricity were to flow from the hot wire to the ground through you, it could be fatal. The ground fault circuit interrupter senses the current flowing through you because less of the current is flowing from hot to neutral than expected. As soon as the GFCI senses the imbalance, the circuit is tripped and the electricity is cut off.
Process Safety Management, or PSM, was done in response to the 1984 Bhopal incident to prevent large-scale accidents from happening again. It is highly regarded by both industry and the government as an excellent resource to help reduce the number and magnitude of accidents when properly applied. While the video was done inside of a house, it is important to look at the 14 sections of PSM and practice it in the household and industry setting. The first section of PSM is employee participation. It is important that all safety guidelines be in use constantly by everyone. If you take a look back when Miss Safety Lady improperly lifted a box, it is a good reminder that everyone, at all levels, be subject to the same safety expectations. The second section of PSM is process safety information. It is critical that all information is made available to all employees for understanding and identification of hazards. In the video, safety man and woman were well equipped to help point out hazards to fellow workers. In the future, it would be helpful to equip all employees with that information. Another section is an effective training program. In the video, multiple employees needed better training to help make the work environment safer. An example of how this can be done is practicing escaping a house through a fire escape ladder. And a simple exercise stimulating a dangerous event can lead to a much safer work environment. This also assists in the emergency planning and response section of PSM. An important section of PSM is a pre-startup safety review. It is critical before a process starts up to review the design and make sure safety and operating procedures are in place and appropriate training is in place. This review should be done also before a startup of a process that has been modified. In the video, someone places metal in the microwave. This likely would not have happened if the proper training and notification had been given to that person that metal should not be in the microwave.
Even the most carefully planned project can run into trouble. No matter how well you plan, your project can always encounter unexpected problems. So it is essential to have risk management plan to prevent the risks you can avoid and minimize the ones you can't. EPA published risk management plan as a response to Bhopal accident. If practiced as intended, it is recognized as an excellent regulation that will reduce the number of magnitude of accidents. Although RMP is similar to PSM regulations in many respects, the RMP is designed to protect off-site people and environment, whereas PSM is designed to protect on-site people. The RMP has following elements: hazard assessment, prevention program, emergency response program, and documentation that is maintained on the site and submitted to federal, state, and local authorities. Hazard assessment is the consequence analysis for a range of potential hazardous chemical releases, including the history of such releases at the facility. The release must include worst-case scenario and the more likely but significant accident release scenarios. The second element of RMP is prevention program. The prevention program has 11 elements, which are as follows: process safety information, hazard evaluation, standard operating procedures, training, pre-startup preview, maintenance, management of change, accident investigations, emergency response, safety audits, and risk assessment. The emergency response program details the steps to be taken by facilities employee in response to accidental release of hazardous material. The plan must be coordinated with local emergency response plan developed by local emergency planning committee and local emergency response agencies. Example of risk management plan in-house include having an emergency response plan for evacuation in case of fire. If understood and practiced as intended, all the family members of the houses can escape the fire unharmed. It will help to prevent the risks you can avoid and minimize the ones you can't.